How about Gil tonight, man? I think that's the first that we've ever had on FS1, like the passing of the headsets after a game. But he deserved it.
That's a great credit and shows a true leader to Miles Powell. I mean, he knows he gets all the attention, most of the attention. We requested him, and he agrees to it. But at the same time, he knows that they don't win this game first half if Miles Cale doesn't bury those shots,
right,
if Gil is not the rim protector and finishing on the break. So he knows it's going to take everyone if they're going to reach their goals this season.
Yeah, I mean, Gil's development is emblematic of the Seton Hall team. They just keep getting better every game. Again, they learned from their losses early in the year. They let some games slip away. And if they had closed in those games they lost,
like
we're looking at them being a top 5 team in the country. But I don't think they developed the way they have if they didn't have the setbacks and the injuries. And as a result, this team is galvanized and at both ends of the floor playing as well as anybody in the country. Those defensive numbers that I just listed a couple minutes ago over the last 4 games are lights out.
Well, you saw Georgetown was down by as many as 21 points, came back, made it an 11-point game, so they fought back, and then we almost had a fight late in the second half. How about like a little emotional Big East play for you with McClung getting into it with the Seton Hall bench and Gil?
All right, so 2 things here. One, for Georgetown, I think this is frustration, and it's natural. This has been, even though they've won these games without the 4 guys that left, it's been an emotional month for Georgetown. Mac McClung misses the last game where they get blown out early by Providence, have to climb back. You know, he's frustrated. He had the goggles on, had the goggles off. He's not feeling right now that, I mean, he's just feeling frustrated. I think that's natural. For Seton Hall, I think we can make a strong argument that they may be one of the toughest teams in the country, if not the toughest. And to win big in March, you need that kind of grit.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to face Kevin Willard's teams in both the old Big East and then the realigned Big East. And when you face his teams, you know they're going to ball hawk you, help. It's really like going to the dentist for a root canal. They unnerve people or discombobulate teams. They really get to the central nervous system of a team. And that's because of his defensive preparation and the toughness that his teams demonstrate. And I think teams do get frustrated as a result of the way the Pirates come after you in a relentless manner.
What I loved about this game is that Miles Powell struggled, once again, 3 for 14. But once again, like you mentioned, he stepped up when they needed to. When Georgetown cut that lead to 11, all of a sudden he rings off 8 straight points. So he always comes up and shows up in big moments that we've seen out of Miles Powell in his career.
Yeah, there's a knack. It's a gift that he has to not force, kind of feel the game early, let the game come to him, get his teammates involved, and then as the game goes along, becomes more significant down the stretch, he steps up and imposes his will on opponents. But what's interesting is we haven't even talked about Quincy McKnight. It was 8 assists, 0 turnovers on the night, sharing the sugar. He was outstanding as well. Make that 10 assists and 0 turnovers.
And the last thing to put a bow on it, in terms of Miles Powell, that's why he's my player of the year right now.
He
comes up big in the big moments. A lot of different guys can do that, score in different ways, but he comes up big in the big moments and has this season.
All right, see what they can do against Xavier. That game's on Wednesday right here on FS1.
Anthony Coward Jr. leads number 15 Maryland against Indiana. Then, number 10 Villanova battle Marcus Howard and Marquette. Our College Hoops doubleheader tips off Saturday at 11:30 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app.